Hey y'all, so I finally got my act together to put together a shorter mom and baby practice. This practice would be geared towards newborns and head holders. So definitely pre-crawlers, even kind of pre-sitting up. So it'll just be for the kind of newer babes that are, newborn to 3 months. Um, and yeah, so right now all I'm doing is I have a pillow from my couch just to sit on, and I have Big Mama. He's a he, but I, for whatever reason, I've had him since I was like knee high to a grasshopper, and it's Big Mama. I don't know why I chose to call him that, and still was adamant that it is a boy. But anyway, so Big Mama is going to join us as my baby today. What I have here is just a blanket that's been unfolded just so that there's a warmer, softer surface. So just have something like that that you feel comfortable placing Babe on. Okay, and we'll begin just by holding Babe, and if Babe is feeling not down with being heart to heart, then by all means you can have them kind of sitting in your lap or cradled in your arm. But just take a couple of moments to find a little bit of stillness here and a little bit of connection. And start to notice your breath. You might even bend down, kiss Babe's head, or chat with Babe and just say, we're gonna practice some yoga here. We're both gonna take turns getting to do yoga. And so just starting to notice your breath, your body. Start to lengthen your inhalations and your exhalations. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth side out. Big breath in. Side out. One more big full breath in. Side out. Inhale, feel your belly rise. Your ribs expand and your chest lift. Exhale, let the belly fall. Ribs draw inwards and your chest back to the heart. Inhale, belly rises. Ribs expand. Chest lifts. Exhale, belly to fall. Ribs draw inwards and your chest falls back to the heart. Couple more of these 3-part yogic breaths. You might even sway gently as you're breathing here, finding this connection with Babe. And take one more big full inhale. Side out. Cool. From here, I'm going to pull my blanket in front of me so that I can place Big Mama down. There. And then as you place Babe down, just take a couple of moments, adjust your seat. If you prefer to have your legs wide, go for it. If legs crossed feels good, then you can have your legs crossed or sit in any other way. And then you're going to bring your hands and place light pressure over their chest. And again, this is a time to just connect, find your breath, maybe chat with Babe. Kisses are always welcome. And then you're going to gently stroke up and then slide the hands down the arms. And then slight pressure as you draw up and then slightly softly down the arms. One more time. Up and and then softly down, like you're kind of creating a heart shape. Cool. Now from here, we'll leave babe as is. Feel how you're connecting to the floor. Of course, at any time throughout the practice, if babe gets fussy, scoop them up, give them love. If you need to press pause and feed, press pause and feed. There's no pressure here. It's all going with the cues that babe lets you, and sometimes you'll get a little further into the practice, and other days you might get a few breaths in and they're like, actually, I don't feel like doing this. I'd rather you just rock me. And that's what you do, right? But I'd like for you to root down through your seat. Bring your fingertips back behind you. Gently traction your fingertips down and away from the body. Lift up through the heart. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Cool. Bring your hands back to your lap. Lovely. From here, if you have your ankles crossed, try switching the cross of your legs just for fun. Cool. All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of yoga with babe, and then we're gonna do a little bit of yoga with yourself. All right, so from here, you're going to, I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to take your right hand to babe's right hand, have your thumb in their palm and your peace fingers on the back of their hand, and you're going to take their right foot in your left hand, and you're gently going to draw them a slight tug in the opposite direction, and then you're going to let it go. Very gentle lengthening, and then you're going to let it go. One more. You can inhale as you create length through babe's right side, and exhale to let it go. Beautiful. Good job. Always connecting again and reassuring. Say, thank you. You're doing so great. And then we're going to do the opposite. So this time, left hand, you're going to take your left hand to their left hand, and your right hand to their left foot. And then you're going to inhale, gentle tugging action, and then let it go. And you'll inhale, gentle tugging action, and then let it go. And then one more big stretch, gentle tug, yes. And then let it go. Cool. And you say thank you. All right. From here, bring your fingertips to the mat. Grow tall through the spine. As you inhale, really reach the arms out to the sides and then bring them up and overhead. Exhale, draw the palms in front of your heart. Inhale, arms reach up, big stretch. Exhale, reaching out and down. Inhale, big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up, maybe looking up. Exhale, reaching out and down. Do a couple shoulder rolls forwards. Do a couple shoulder rolls back. Cool. Now from here, we're going to come into butterfly or cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana. A couple of things, you're going to just have to go off of what babe's kind of down with today. So you might choose to scoop babe up. Bring the soles of your feet to touch, and if they're okay with it, then laying them down, and you can use your feet as a bit of a headrest. Okay? And if they're like, nah, not really interested, if they are head holders, you can bring them so that they do a little bit of tummy time here, where you prop them up on their forearms if they're able to hold their head up. And you can also snuggle them in if they're just wanting to be held and rocked. Okay? Now, whichever place you have your babe is just fine. You're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. If you have any issues with sciatica, you'll definitely want to make sure you are seated up on something. And you may even choose to either keep the shoulders stacked over the hips, or when we do hinge forward, that you only go so far that you can keep your heart lifted. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale, we'll start to hinge forward from the hips if that feels safe. Once you meet that edge, that place where you can't go any further without forcing yourself, you can pause. Again, you can keep the heart lifted, especially if forward flexion, so rounding in the spine, is problematic. Otherwise, if it is not problematic and it feels safe to do so, you can bend forward, take this time to connect with babe. You can let the head hang heavy. If you have the mobility, you might even get some smoochies in. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth to side out. Inhale, slowly start to come back up. Thanking babe. Beautiful. From here, you're going to inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows out to the sides and really press your palms in opposite directions. And then inhale, hands come to the shoulders, elbows bend. Exhale, flex the palms, press away from the heart, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, you're going to fold forward, maybe giving kisses to babe. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhaling, press your elbows out to the sides, your palms out to the sides. Inhale, hands to shoulders. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. If you've had a tummy birth, really being mindful if you need to use your hands to support you as you fold forward, please do. Especially on the way up, you can walk your hands up. Otherwise, big inhale in your forward fold. Side out. Inhale, root down, rise up either with the help of the hands or the hands sweep up, and we're going to do one more. Exhale, elbows, then palms press out to the sides. Think of really opening through the front of the chest. And then as you inhale, hands to shoulders. Exhale, round the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward with ease, with control, maybe giving babe a kiss. And then inhale, either walking your hands back or sweeping the arms up. And then exhale, let the arms down. Awesome. There's a good time to thank babe. If they're down, scoop them up. Good job. Thank you. And then find your legs in a way that feels comfortable. Again, legs can be crossed or uncrossed and open. So whatever feels right for you. Beautiful. Now from here, you will take right hand into left hand into right hand. Wait, this is right. And this is my right hand to right hand, left hand to left hand. Okay. You're going to open, big stretch. And then maybe bring the hands to touch. They may or may not let you, depending on how old they are. So if they let you, maybe opening wide. And then maybe coming back towards the center. Big open arms. And then bringing them back together. Good job. And then releasing their arms, saying thank you with an upward and then rounding out, almost like a heart-shaped stroke. From here, you're going to bring your hands to the soles of baby's feet. And then if they let you, as long as they don't resist, you're going to gently apply pressure and their knees will bend towards their chest, coming into a chair pose. And then straighten the legs. So, excuse me. I always like to exhale, going in. Inhale, coming out. Exhaling, going in. Inhaling, coming out. We'll do one more if they're letting you go there. And then letting them go. Beautiful. And then another little heart-shaped stroke, saying thank you. Now from here, depending on how you have your mat set up, I have 2 mats. You can keep babe where they are and you'll turn sideways on the mat to tabletop. Otherwise, if you have your mat forward facing, just sliding your towel or your blanket or whatever you have for babe off to the side. And again, if your babe is a head holder, tummy time is always an excellent option if they're comfortable there. If not, just making sure that they're feeling safe and snug where they are, and you will bring yourself to tabletop position. Just take a couple of moments and move the body. Not trying to force yourself anywhere, just observing how you're feeling today. Definitely making sure that you're not pushing yourself beyond your limits, especially if you are fairly recent post-op and even in post-delivery. You just want to make sure that you are moving safely within your body and you're not pushing yourself where you think you ought to be. Really listening, and know that you can always find Shavasana at any time or find a comfortable seat and just snuggle with babe. So from here, just finding some movement in the body. Now, no matter how you birthed your babe, we know that there's a lot that happens physiologically, whether you have a vaginal delivery or whether you have a tummy birth. Both have trauma to the body, and I don't mean trauma necessarily in like a bad way, but just that the tissues of the body, the whole physiological act is quite extreme. And so we can sometimes lose connection to the muscles of the pelvic girdle and the pelvic bowl and the lower transverse abdominis. And so reconnecting and reworking those neural pathways with breath and movement can be really integral to pelvic floor health and abdominal health. And so we're going to move from our tabletop position in a bit of a flowing breath work. So our pelvic floor moves with our diaphragm, and if you've taken my prenatal classes, you'll be familiar with this. So you're going to take your knees nice and wide. Your hands are going to walk just a little bit more forward. As you inhale, you're going to bring your bum back towards your heels. And as you exhale, you're going to draw the hips and pelvis forward. So inhaling, really think of the pelvic floor expanding, creating space as the diaphragm lowers. And as you exhale, shifting the weight forward, think of it drawing in and up. Inhale, creating space. Exhale, shifting the weight forward, moving back into that space. Inhale, creating space. Exhaling to move back into the space. One more time. And then coming back. Beautiful. From here, if you'd like to bring babe to be involved, you can always scoop them up, bring them over. It's not always a graceful process of moving things. And then if you're wanting them to feel a little bit more involved. Beautiful. So you can always connect. Hands come back below the shoulders, knees below the hips. If you are before your 6 weeks postpartum, I would like for you to keep the ball of the foot on the floor where we're going. If you've been given the okay from your healthcare provider to resume physical activity, you're welcome to amp it up or ramp it up as much as you like. From here, I would like for you to bring your attention to the pelvic floor and think of very gently drawing it in and up. No more than 20%. We just want to think of almost stopping the flow of urine midstream. Okay? Keep that. And on your next inhale, as you draw the shoulders away from the ears, you're going to extend the right leg back behind you. Bring the ball of the foot to the floor to start. Always, of course, engaging with babe if they're feeling interactive. And then as long as it feels safe to do so, you will lift the right leg, bringing the heel in line with the hip. Keep your jaw relaxed, breath flowing. And then bring the ball of the foot to the floor. Press the right heel back towards the floor now, or back towards the mat. Feel like your hands are almost tracking forward and away from the shoulders. And on your next inhale, shifting the weight back through center. Exhale, right knee below the right hip. Inhale, left leg extends back, ball of the foot to the floor. So again, you'll stay here if you're before your 6-week postpartum. And then if you are and feel like going for it, you can lift the left leg, toes towards the floor, heel pressing back, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Notice your breath. If you're having a hard time maintaining a flowing breath, bring the ball of the foot back to the floor. And on your next exhale, bring the ball of the foot to the mat. And as you exhale, traction the hands away from the shoulders as you press the left heel closer to the floor. And on your next inhale, shifting the weight back through center. Exhale, knee below the hips. You can sit on your heels, connect to babe. Now from here, you're going to scoop babe up, and we're going to bring ourselves to standing. From here, just bounce a little bit. Making sure that you bounce, and it's something that mamas or parents are hardwired to do. It helps with the vestibular development in babe. And so giving a little bounce is always good to go. Okay, beautiful. Now from here, let's take a moment in mountain pose. If babe is preferring to be faced out, you can always have your a hand underneath their chin to support, so thumb on one side, forefinger on the other, and you can have your hands kind of scooping underneath their bums. Okay, so whether they're wanting to be faced out or whether they're preferring to be heart to heart is totally up to you. Let's just take a couple of moments, and you can gently sway if that feels right for you. Otherwise, finding stillness in your mountain pose. And a really good friend of mine who was my first yoga teacher, she says that Tadasana, your mountain pose, is the mother of all standing asana. And so I love that, thinking when you are in your mom and baby, that like this is the mother of all poses, and it's a place of stability and of strength and resilience. And it's also a resting pose. It's kind of like returning home. And so just take this moment to connect to your foundation, your stability. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Beautiful. From here, step your feet wider than hip bone widths apart. And we're gonna go into kind of like goddess pose. You're gonna take your toes out to the sides, okay? Sometimes it feels better to bring the heels in. It just depends on how wide apart you stepped your feet. And babes like that kind of sudden dropping feel. So we're gonna do what are called divine drops, which is great because it comes from goddess pose. So we're going to drop down and slowly come up and drop down. Slowly come up. If they like, you can have them out from you as you drop down and slowly come back up. Drop down, slowly come back up. One more, drop down, and then slowly come back up and sway your hips. Cool. And then you can heel toe your feet back together. Coming back to your Tadasana. And for the newer babes, if they're having trouble passing gas or feeling a little gassy or a little colicky, you can find this forward hold where your bum or your hand slides underneath their bum, fingers kind of between the legs. Again, you're supporting the head, especially if they're not head holding yet. And you can do swirlies where you just gently do circular rotations to the right, following the movement of digestion, just to kind of create a little bit of wiggle room into the hips and pelvis and to help massage the digestive tract. So So always going into the right. Cool. All right, take a big inhale. Side out. Lovely. And then you're going to make your way back down to the mat. And you're going to find yourself how you would like to complete your practice. If you're wanting a little bit of space, you can definitely bring babe back onto their blanket beside you. If you prefer to have them on you or be seated, by all means. You can also lay on your side and kind of pull them in so that you're close together. So it's really whatever feels right for you. So just taking time to kind of set up how you would like to finish your practice. If you'd like, you can have a hand on babe, creating that connection. Maybe you prefer to lay on your back. You can have legs straight or knees bent. Take a big inhale. Sigh it out. Big breath in. Sigh it out. One more big full breath in. Sigh it out. Your toes and your feet are relaxed. Ankles are relaxed. Shins and calves relaxed. Knees relaxed. Quads, hamstrings, glutes, and hips relaxed. Biceps, triceps, elbows relaxed. Forearms, wrists, hands, and all of your fingers are completely relaxed. Low back, mid back, upper back relaxed. Pelvis, abdomen, and diaphragm relaxed. The entire space where babe grew and thrived is now healing and relaxed. Your ribs and your chest are relaxed. Shoulders, neck, and head relaxed. Your mind and your body completely relaxed. Purnamidam, Purnamidam, Purnamidasate, Purnasya, Purnamidaya, Purnamevavashishate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Start to deepen your breath, awakening your body, making movements with your fingers and your toes, hands, feet, wrists, and ankles. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. Maybe an inhalation, taking the arms nice and high overhead, big stretch, maybe even a yawn here. Beautiful. From here, make your way to seated. Scoop up your babe, bring them into your heart space or cradle them. Just take a couple more breaths here together. Thank you so much for taking time to find connection to babe and to find movement and healing breath with yourself. It's not always easy to make it on your mat, so thank you. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.